Buttonholes are awesome on this machine. We're going to show you three different ones. One using the censored buttonhole foot, that's the one with the red wheel and the plug-in. A second one using the manual C foot, it's the one with the little longer nose on one end. And then we're also going to do a corded buttonhole too. That's great for when you have stretchy fabrics and you need a little stability or something like for a wool coat. That's a perfect place to do. You can use your sewing advisor and tell it what fabric you're working on, and it will tell you which buttonhole you want to use. You can also pick number 0, and then up top on your where all your stitches are, stitches number 28 through 34. Lots of different types for different types of fabric. So first off, let me show you on the censored one. On the red wheel, there's a part that has a little white crown on it. There's going to be a time right before we start to sew that we need to make sure that that's lined up with the white line. If it's not, the machine will show you a little picture on screen to do that. And then I'm going to also show you where you plug it in. So put the foot on first, and then about halfway back, you might tip your head underneath to actually see it. Once you get good, you can usually kind of do it without looking and press it all the way up. Make sure you give it a good push. If you ever sew a buttonhole and it just keeps going and never stops, well, that's usually just you didn't have this plugged in enough. We call those runaway buttonholes. Well, what size of buttonhole do you need? Take your button and right down here on the measuring tool of the machine where it has a little 0 and that dotted circle, place your button next to 0, and you can see that this is about let's see here, 16, 17 millimeter buttonhole. Come to your screen. Do you notice it has a little measuring? You can, let's put it up to 17, but you can make it any length you want, and then it's ready to stitch. Put your fabric in first. And then last thing you're going to do is just take your finger and adjust the white wheel to the white line and start to sew. It's going to stitch backwards first, and then it's going to go ahead and stitch again. Do the tack at the top, stitch the second satin stitch down. Just keep your foot on the foot control until it comes to a complete stop. And locks the stitches and cuts the thread and lifts the foot. And that is the most beautiful buttonhole you've ever seen. And if this is correct, you can go ahead and open that up, and then you can keep going, buttonhole after buttonhole. On the buttonhole foot, there are a couple lines right here up on the front side. So you could use that to line that up every time. You can put that on the edge of your fabric so you start at the same place every time you do your next buttonhole. Now, there's times where you need to do it on other fabrics, or the buttonhole that you've selected requires the manual foot, and it'll tell you if it doesn't need the sensor foot. The way this works, and you're going to notice there's going to be that reverse button type picture on your screen. That means we are going to be using that to tell it when to turn around. Since it doesn't know when and where we're doing this, we can go ahead and start though. The arrow shows you which way it's going to go first. Same thing, it's going to go back. I would recommend drawing a mark at each end of the buttonhole and in the placement you want. Touch the reverse button one time, and then that will go ahead and set it. You're going to need to stop it manually when those two kind of get close to each other. Touch the reverse button one more time. That will tell the machine to do the lock or tack at the end and lock it and cut it. And then you have a manual buttonhole. You can also use this for some of the mending, like if you need to mend up a buttonhole, you'd have a little bit more control, or if you needed one much longer, then the sensor buttonhole will allow you to go. Those are really pretty. I'll just do one more a different style of buttonhole, like for knit fabric. Also uses this manual buttonhole foot, and we'll use the reverse button. It has kind of some crisscross X's as it stitches. It's not as heavy. That's because you will find, there we go. You'll find that on knit fabric, will have a little bit of give to it. For a corded buttonhole, I'm going to pretend that we're working on a stretchy, heavy fabric, so fabric F, and then I chose buttonhole technique number 7, and it set it up for the right buttonhole and the right foot, and it's showing me a little picture to cord it. That's that little kind of loop of thread showing through there. First thing you're going to do is wrap it around. There's a little um, pin or heel to the back of the foot, and that is going to sit or hold the cord. So I just divide the cord in half and then set it to be over there. Lower the presser foot down, and then this is one where I'll control the start and stop for it. So as I stitch, it's just going to really drag the cord up through where I need it to go. Touch the reverse button one time to tell it when to turn around. And then it'll come and stitch over the second side of the cord. And I'll show you why this works so well. Let me end this here and give it a little lock and pull it out. So this is what it's going to actually look like, where there is the little cord going up and around. First, go ahead and give that a little pull, and it will pull itself and disappear into the cord. It is very, very stable in here. Then you could go ahead and trim that away, and that way you won't even see the rest of the cord after it kind of slips back up into the satin stitching after you kind of give it a little bit of a pull there. The reason that works is because when we loop that cord around, here's that little heel that we talked about back here, there are two grooves underneath the presser foot. That's what tracks the cord perfectly for doing a corded buttonhole. That would be the same thing if you wanted to do it with the sensor foot. You could cord it there too. So those are how easy buttonholes are going to be. Try out all the different other styles. You've got some decorative ones and a really pretty heirloom one at stitch number 30 in row 1.